Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that is both fascinating and often overlooked: the secret history of North American wildlife. From the prehistoric giants that once roamed the continent to the dramatic changes brought about by human activity, this is a story of survival, extinction, and conservation. So grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Let's start at the very beginning. Humans first arrived in North America during the last ice age, roughly 13,500 years ago. They crossed the Bering Land Bridge, a landmass that connected Siberia and Alaska when sea levels were much lower. Once the glaciers melted, these early colonizers spread across the entire continent with incredible speed, reaching South America in less than 1,000 years. From the very start, their presence had a significant impact on the local wildlife. Before humans arrived, North America was a world of giants. The landscape was home to an incredible array of massive mammals and birds. The herbivores alone included 3 species of elephants: woolly mammoths, giant mammoths, and mastodons. Alongside them were ancient horses, camels, giant bison, and even giant ground sloths that could reach the size of modern elephants. Picture giant armadillos, tapirs, giant beavers, and giant tortoises roaming the land. These massive plant eaters weren't alone, of course. They were hunted by a fearsome group of mega-predators, many of which are now extinct. This included cheetahs, saber-toothed tigers, giant wolves, and 2 species of lion, one even larger than the lions of Africa today. The predators were just as impressive as their prey. A short-nosed bear, about twice the size of a modern grizzly, hunted by running down its prey much like wolves do today. Jaguars roamed far north of their current tropical habitats, even reaching the boreal forests of Canada. And many of the cat species now confined to Central and South America were also present here. The skies were dominated by huge meat-eating birds, the largest being the territorn scavengers with wingspans up to 5 meters or 16 feet. The endangered California condor is the last living remnant of these giant sky scavengers. There was even a giant vampire bat, adapted to feeding on the blood of these enormous beasts. The arrival of humans marked a dramatic turning point. Overhunting and habitat changes led to the extinction of many of these megafauna, forever altering the balance of the ecosystem. Fast forward to the period between 1500 and 1849, an era often described as a time of unparalleled abundance. The richness and diversity of wildlife, especially edible wildlife, was staggering. The continent was teeming with life, from vast herds of bison to flocks of passenger pigeons that literally darkened the skies. The American bison, or buffalo, became the symbol of this era. These massive animals roamed the Great Plains in numbers that are hard to even imagine today. Estimates suggest there were between 30 and 60 million of them before European contact. They were a keystone species, shaping the grasslands and providing essential resources for indigenous peoples. Another iconic species from this era was the passenger pigeon. Once the most abundant bird in North America, possibly the world, these birds formed flocks so massive they would block out the sun for hours as they passed overhead. Their numbers were estimated to be in the billions. But sadly, this incredible abundance would not last. The arrival of European colonists brought sweeping changes. A combination of relentless overhunting, widespread habitat destruction, and the introduction of new diseases led to a catastrophic decline in wildlife populations. The bison, once numbering in the tens of millions, were reduced to just a few hundred individuals by the late 19th century. The passenger pigeon, once so numerous, went completely extinct. The last one, named Martha, died in the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. It's crucial to acknowledge that indigenous peoples had a deep, symbiotic relationship with the land. They'd practiced sustainable hunting and land management techniques that helped maintain the ecosystem's balance for centuries. However, the arrival of Europeans and their different land use philosophies disrupted these practices, leading to widespread overexploitation and environmental degradation. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the alarming decline of wildlife sparked the rise of the conservation movement. People began to recognize the urgent need to protect what was left. Early conservationists like George Perkins Marsh and John Muir became powerful voices advocating for the preservation of wilderness. Marsh's 1864 book, Man and Nature, is considered one of the first major works to document the destructive impact of human activity on the environment. Then, in 1872, a landmark decision was made: the creation of Yellowstone National Park, spanning over 2 million acres. It was the first national park in the world. It became a powerful symbol of the conservation movement and a model for creating protected areas globally. This momentum continued, leading to the creation of the U.S. Forest Service in 1905 and the National Park Service in 1916. These agencies were tasked with managing and protecting the country's natural resources for future generations. The 20th century brought its own set of challenges and triumphs. The 1930s Dust Bowl, a severe drought caused by poor land management, was a harsh lesson on the consequences of ignoring ecological principles. In response, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal established the Civilian Conservation Corps, which employed millions of young men to restore the nation's parks and forests. Important legislation followed. The Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918 established federal protection for migratory birds. Then, in the 1970s, the landmark Endangered Species Act was passed, providing legal protection for threatened and endangered species. This single act has been instrumental in the recovery of many iconic animals, including the bald eagle and the gray wolf. Today, technology plays a vital role in modern conservation. Scientists use satellite imagery, drones, and advanced data analysis to monitor wildlife populations and track environmental changes with incredible precision. These tools are essential for making informed decisions about conservation and management. But it's not just about governments and scientists. Community involvement is absolutely key. Local communities, indigenous groups, and passionate volunteers are on the front lines, protecting wildlife and their habitats. Education and outreach programs help raise awareness and foster a sense of shared responsibility for our natural world. The future of North American wildlife truly depends on our collective efforts. Threats like climate change and habitat loss continue to challenge the survival of many species. However, with continued conservation work, innovative technologies, and strong community engagement, there is definitely hope for a brighter, more balanced future. The secret history of North American wildlife is a profound story of resilience and adaptation. From prehistoric giants to the modern conservation movement, this continent has witnessed incredible change. By understanding this history, we can better appreciate the urgent importance of protecting our natural heritage for generations to come. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.